always good to see. You know, guys played hard, they played tough, they played for the full 6 years. Not much else you can ask. And just as I said, the defense I thought really played well outside of that first series. I think they drove it for a field goal, then came back with a touchdown second half. The offense did a nice job running the football, and that was a real team effort there too, including the receivers. Obviously the running backs, tight ends, and line did a good job. So good to see there. And another positive, we had 7 penalties. That's not a positive in the first half. Second half shut that out. So we came back and had a clean slate. It was a little bit uncharacteristic. So then on the humorous side, I guess, Nick Jackson, I didn't quite see the footwork that he used. I just saw that on a highlight. So it was a really good play. I didn't know it was that good a play. So it's kind of a little bit different and unique. Trophy game, rivalry game. It's certainly great to come out on the right end of that. And then toolbox, I guess our guys won that one last night. I missed it, but they're on a little bit of a roll, so I know happy for them, and they do a great job working during the year. And then lastly, our fans were great tonight. Great crowd, the blackout, the whole 9 yards, and a really good deal. So great night for us, and just really happy for our guys. We'll have a big challenge getting ready for next week, but we'll enjoy this one tonight.
Coach, can you talk about your offensive line? It looked like they were pushing it around right from the start of the game.
Yeah, I think they're gaining confidence, and they're growing, and certainly came into the season feeling like we're a little bit closer where we want to be, and they're making good progress. Good to get Bo back in there too, not taking away from anybody else, but there's a reason he's a starter. So a lot of good things there, and then the tight ends were a little nicked up there, but the guys jumped in. John Pascuzzi, Zach, Hayden Large, all those guys did a good job, and then perimeter blocking too to make the run game going makes a big difference.
Blake.
Blake Hornstein, Hawkeye headquarters. Kirk, Caleb just eclipsed, he's got to 20 touchdowns. That's what Sean had in 2008. I know you mentioned you want 12 games. Sean did it, and we're on game 9 right now. But what makes Caleb such a great back, and what maybe puts him in that class of the elite ones you've had during your time here?
Yeah, I mean he's got good ability obviously, and he's got size, strength, speed, and all those things that you would love to have. I think I'm most impressed with is just his approach. He's just the maturity that he's playing with right now and practicing with. He's like that all week long, and then he's hard to bring down. Like he doesn't go down with an arm tackle, so it's a credit to him. He's really figured out how to use what he has, and I think he's enjoying that. But I think I'm most impressed with he's staying so focused right now, and that's a real tribute to him.
John Steppe, Cedar Rapids Gazette. It seemed like kind of on both sides there's kind of a dominance for you guys at the line of scrimmage. Have you seen that from your teams against Wisconsin before, and kind of how important is it to have that advantage there in this series?
Yeah, I mean every year is a different story, a matchup and that type of thing. So, but they're a good football team. We have a lot of respect for them coming in, and still do. And they're, it's an interesting year this year, really, in our conference. But yeah, I mean, I didn't see this thing coming tonight. So sometimes that just happens where things start clicking a little bit. Just got to give our guys credit because they really came ready to go.
Chad Lice, Dakota, Win Register. I know you follow the NFL enough to know that running backs are not like super valued, at least in the draft, that kind of thing. But you guys seem to value the running back position quite a lot. What does a good running back do for a team, I guess, like the one that you have?
Yeah, I mean, talked about Sean and what the impact he had. Go back to Fred Russell. He was in the locker room a couple weeks ago. Different sizes, shapes, styles, all that kind of stuff. But a guy that can, really take the load and go. That's a big thing. And it just kind of creates an energy internally too. With the linemen, get excited, just like the return guys. They can't wait to block for Weege right now because they know there's a chance good things are going to happen when those guys have the ball. And tonight it played in our favor. I don't know what the time of possession was, but just having a chance to keep the clock going a little bit and takes pressure off the defense. So there's a lot of good things about it if you can get it going. And again, I can't say enough about Caleb, but I thought all three of the guys really ran well tonight, and it's a good combination. Jazz was hitting it hard, and Kamari, has got that quick burst in there. So, they're playing off each other pretty well.
Scott Dockerman from The Athletic. I wanted to ask you about Caleb going from the last couple of years. He'd have moments, he'd flash, 200-yard game against Purdue or some of the big runs before. And then and there'd be a dip and, you know, or the consistency wasn't quite there. He seems to be finishing runs more now. Can you spot when that actually took place, when he kind of pushed through from being 80% of a great back to 100% of a great back?
I think his approach this year entirely, you know, going back to August, start of camp, has been different. And that's what you hope with older guys, you know, as they've been in the program for a while. I hope they start to, I always tell them, you know, like if you want to know how to act, just look at the front of the room. Typically, a guy like Jay Higgins, you know, Campbell before him. And that's true, I think, at every position. And, but yeah, he's working at a different rate. And I still think, to me, his aha moment in my mind was at the end of the Iowa State game. We were trying to run the clock. And he had a couple plays that were blocked for one, and he got about 6 or 8, you know, and that's something he hadn't done in the past. So I think he's learning maybe what he's capable of doing. He's starting to get it down pretty good, luckily, yeah.
Hey Kirk, Elliot Clough, Hawkeye Beacon. I just wanted to ask about that. I think it was the first drive of the second half that you guys took 10 plays, 86 yards, all runs. I guess I'm curious, was that all Tim's play calling? Like, did you see that coming? Was that something that was maybe a thought going into that start of that second half, or you just felt like you could lean on them and do whatever you wanted?
Yeah, I mean, we talk at every half, you know, offense and defensive staff make adjustments, those types of things. What do we like? What don't we like? What might be good, that type of thing. And whole staff talked about that, but Tim calls the game. And you know, as far as staying with it, if it's working, you stay with things, you know. And if it's not, then you try to, you know, find something else. But yeah, we got into a pretty good rhythm, and you know, Tim called a great game. So it's you know, everything was just, you know, really complimenting each other.
Adam Jacoby, Hawkeye Beacon. Kirk, a full week of practice for Brendan Sullivan at QB1, and then a performance like this. What did you see from him during the week, and how would you evaluate how he played tonight?
I thought he played really well, you know, and you know, some things he'd like to take back, I'm sure. The grounding, start with that one. And it's stupid in college. That's negative rushing yardage right now. That's a bad rule too, but got a couple of them. But I thought he played really well, and was in a hurry a couple times maybe, where if he'd slowed down, some things would have been a little better for him. That's lack of playing time and just lack of being out there. He practiced well all week long, and you know, so yeah, I thought he did a really nice job, and really pleased for him.
Tom Kickert, Hawkeye Report. Kirk, I think a couple weeks ago you said, boy, short medical meeting. Now there's a longer list. Probably not going to say that
Keep
again.
my mouth
aren't
shut,
you?
huh?
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. Cade's status moving forward for next week. Luke Lachey, Stringa, some of those guys. Can you update those?
Yeah, I can talk about 2 guys. Stranga and Reese will not be out there. Vanderzee. So that's hopefully by a week we'll see, you know. And then the rest of them, we'll just kind of wait and see what happens. I think those guys have a chance, but we'll know more here next week. When I see you guys on Tuesday, we'll probably have a little better idea. Yep.
Tyler Tashman with the Des Moines Register. Just curious, with Brendan, how well do you feel like he fits into Tim's offense and the way that he kind of schemes things up? Like, how do you feel like that marriage kind of works?
You know, I think you know, I think there's enough flexibility probably in any system. You know, you kind of lean towards what a guy can do. So I'm going back, like, you know, Brad Banks had some things that we would do with him we might not have done with certainly Nathan Chandler the next year, or you know, Tate was a little bit in there too. So you just kind of lean towards whatever. The obvious dimension right now is his running ability, and that came in handy tonight. I don't know how many rush yards he had, but it affects the defense a little bit, and it helps the running game too. You know, certainly if they have to respect a little bit more. And he made a great throw on that ball down there. The Ortworth was a huge play for us, and you know, that was a good play too. So I thought he did a really nice job.